has gone up by about 12%. In that, the domestic sales have gone up by about 13.5%. But let's get back to the big story, and that was in the oil and gas space. The Kirit Parikh Panel bats for liberalization of the gas sector 4 years hence by 2027. But till then, there will be a reduction in price with annual escalation for gas from existing fields. These recommendations are seen as a positive for gas players. To assess the impact of this, we're now joined by Pawan Kumar, the Director of Commercial at IGL now. Mr. Kumar, morning. This is Rima here. You must have done some basic analysis. Could you tell us by how much would your raw material costs come down?
Yeah, good morning, Rima. In fact, the recommendations of Kirit Parikh Committee, if these are approved by the government, it's a welcome move to the entire CGD sector. The recommendation is that the input gas cost of APM gas should come down by around 24%. But if we see the RLNG and spot component also, for IGL, the net reduction will be around 18%.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Kumar. Good morning. Could you just revise and tell us what is your sourcing mix currently, and also if the prices are going to come down, how would you deal with it? Will you pass it on to your clients, or would you and then push up volumes, or would you retain it and enhance your EBITDA and your profitability?
Yeah, currently around 88 to 89% APM gas we are using for CNG and domestic CNG segment. The remaining around 12 to 13% we are buying from spot, or we are mixing from RLNG based on our long-term contracts. So the average cost of production, average input cost last month has been around $9.78 per MMBTU, which will reduce to 7.98, around 18%. It will come around $7.98 per MMBTU. The net reduction should be around 18%.
Okay, and will you retain this reduction of your input cost and then focus on pushing through volumes, or do you think that you all will retain the profitability and shore up the EBITDA?
The IGL has always been looking for the consumer interest. If you see our track record, when the gas prices were very volatile, we were very conservative in increasing the prices, and we hardly increase any prices. And we are waiting for the final recommendations for the government approval, and we will take a call accordingly so that the interest of consumers and the interest of investors is balanced.
Mr. Kumar, hi, good morning. Prashant here. Just a couple of questions. The net reduction is 18%, which is huge, right? I mean, if these are accepted. So very, very large. And once it is once it is approved, if they are approved, you will, from what I understand, from what you're saying, pass on this entirely to consumers. I would presume that, I mean, you will have to pass on as well, right? I mean, even if you wanted to keep some of this, will you be able to keep it? I'm assuming the recommendations from the Kirit Parikh panel are also aimed at consumers, giving consumers some relief as well, while giving upstream pricing flexibility, but also having consumers in mind. So does it leave you with any option but to pass on? You may in any case, but do you have an option?
Yeah, Prashant, as I have already told that we are a consumer-friendly company and we are working always in the interest of consumers.
Okay.
We will take a call accordingly how much can be passed.
Okay.
Because Q3 numbers are not that encouraging.
Okay.
Because we didn't increase the prices. So we are already absorbing a part of the input gas hike in our prices.
Got it.
So we will try to pass on maximum. Yeah. Which is possible.
Got it.
By maintaining the
so full 18%, maybe 20%.
I can't say right now. I know. Let us wait for the final recommendations.
No, that's fine. The other is allocation, Mr. Kumar, and that's been a problem which you've highlighted as well, right? Maybe as Mr. Kirit Parikh to an interview to us yesterday said, more fields are coming up and overall supply will go up significantly over the next 3 to 4 years. But as of now, there is a shortage. So the government has to allocate, fertilizer, city gas and others, power, etc. as well. What does the recommendation say on that front, and does that also provide any comfort? Go on.
See, as of now, the allocation formula is that we are being allocated APM gas based on previous quarter's consumption. 90% of the consumption is given in the subsequent quarters, and in the current month, we are getting around 6.03 million cubic meters per day. And we are hopeful that the recommendations, if accepted by the government, it will be helpful for the CGD sector.
What is the recommendation on allocation? Because Mr. Parikh in the interview said, our recommendations are that government should get out of allocation, should stop. I mean, they should no longer be deciding allocation, who gets how much. But at the same time, he also said city gas and fertilizer, of course, must remain priority. So have you seen what the recommendations actually say there?
I think there are some timelines after some 3 years or some definite period. The report says that the prices can be deregulated and the allocation can be deregulated. So we are just waiting for the final words, what is coming on the final decision. Only then we can comment.
So could you give us a sense of what volumes are like currently in the month of October as well as November? Last quarter, your volumes were about 8.1 MMSCMD. What are you likely to do in the second half of the year?
See, the current growth on quarter-to-quarter basis around 6% and on year-to-year basis around 12%. So we are targeting that by year-end we should touch 9 million meter cube per day. Yes.
Okay, all right. And sir, we're waiting for these recommendations to be accepted. Typically, how long does this time take? I mean, if you could give us a sense, your expectations?
I think it should take around a month because it will go to cabinet, it will be forwarded by the ministry, then cabinet will approve. We expect that by January, I think something should come.
Will it be approved in the current form, sir, or do you think the cabinet may tinker around a bit?
It's very difficult to comment on my part.
Okay, all right. The committee has also recommended bringing gas under GST regime. For your company, what kind of savings could it accrue if it does come about?
See, it will help the company as well as the consumers because we are paying around 200 crore of GST. So if the gas is brought under GST, so there will be net saving of 200 crore on the basis of input cost of GST. And the industry also will get a breather that they will be able to get input credit of GST.
All right, Mr. Kumar, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. And we look forward to, as consumers, at least, a reduction of that 18% once, as you said, in about a month's time. These recommendations are hopefully accepted from the government.